G'day, hope you're doing well. Merry Christmas. Got myself a little bit of an early Christmas present here. Not that I'm not a huge fan of the manual jockey wheels, but I lost the bolt that fixes it to the caravan, and I thought, well, instead of just buying that, $6 bolt, for whatever reason, in my head I thought I'll just get myself an electric jockey wheel. So here we have it. Just unboxed it. We went in the blackjack trailer jack. So this is obviously an electronic jack. There's a little bit of wiring there hanging out of it. Got a couple of mounting plates. There's a foot, swing down foot. There's a flat sort of steel foot. It comes with this drop down base plate, and obviously some fitting hardware, stubby coolers, thank you, and yeah, the fuse and stuff to go with it. So I decided today will be the day that I chuck this on the front of the van. Now, yeah, it's a bit of a spoil, I guess, like it's not a necessary thing, but I feel like, seeing we're going to be traveling for at least 12 months, van's going to be coming on and off the car quite a bit, so this might just take out the tedious task of unhitching the van. What's that? Sorry, just got another. Oh yep, it's got a little bag there just to protect it from the elements, so that's good. Alright, let's have a quick look at the van and see what sort of modifications we're going to have to do to fit this thing. Alright, so at first glance I do want to fit it to this bar again, so we're going to have to chop off this jockey wheel mount, unfortunately. And as this thing sits sort of under that steel when the brake's on, I feel like I'm going to have to maybe add another piece of steel to this just to extend it down so that they don't rub on the bracket. That's sort of where my head's at the moment, unless I can come up with something on the spot. But I feel like that's the only place it can really go. So there's the wiring, just that one positive negative, run it back up through the chassis. Fully wrapped in insulation there, and it just runs under the van and pops out just here. So I can't actually fit it in the chassis, which I would really love to do, but basically I'm just going to fit it to that gas line there, and it will just run down in there, tie on here, and now I just have to cut this bracket off. And then I'll do a bit of spray gal on it, just so there's no raw steel, and we'll fit up the brackets. So as you can see, that's where the bracket was, and just thought I'd give the A-frame a bit of a tidy up. But yeah, that thing was a mission. So if you do own a Snowy, they're welded on. I can understand why they welded it on, like this was not going anywhere in a hurry. And those legs, if you do bend them or break them or whatever, you can easily go and buy a new one. But for me, taking it off to put this thing on, mission. But whoever welded that bloody bracket on, if they've done the rest of this chassis, I've got no issues coming up. I'm telling you now, that thing was like solid, hey. So I'm going to go and mount this bracket kit here. We'll mount that to the A-frame, and then I think the leg just slides. Yeah, the leg slides straight in there. It's got a couple of bolt holes, but I'll obviously show you as we go. So I've got wires there for it from the positive negative already, so it'll just be a case to bolt that bracket on, wire the last bit up, and we'll be able to test it out. Not overly heavy. I think the box that it came in said 19 kilos, so that'll be the shipping weight. Now, what's the easiest way to set this up? I feel like that's the way that I want it, with the switches at the front. But the holes don't really line up. They do there, but that's off center. You see those holes in there? Maybe they're supposed to... They're designed to go backwards. I mean, yeah, I could have it backwards.
Nice camper van.
Thanks. Yeah, I might mount it backwards there. Then it can be all squared up. And this does have a little bubble in here too. So, I wonder how accurate that would be. Alright, I'll get this bolted in. I might finish this wiring off. So yeah, as you can see, the wiring's just going to come right along this gas line. Then I'll zip tie it there and then up onto the arm. It has been a couple of days since I started this, but had a few little jobs to tidy up. But yeah, we've finally got the wiring ran through, zip tied up all neat. I decided to do a little service loop there in case I need to mess with these connections. You always just leave a little bit so you're not pulling everything tight, and that just goes up through there. Bit more tape on there just to keep things in place and up to the jack. So turn it on, it's got the fuse in there now, and let's give it a go. So basically you want to let the arm down a bit. Don't mind me, I'm just doing this one-handed. Not exactly the fastest thing in the world, but yeah, mate, thanks. Just got another delivery, so alright, starting to take a bit of tension there. Coming off the legs. Let's see how high we can get it. So that's, I mean, that's gone a long way down, hasn't it? That's it. So that's maxed out there. Fairly solid. So we'll do the same thing, but we'll retract it now. I know this is probably a very boring part of the video, but we've got to test these things. I'm just going to lower it just till it's on those feet, which will sort of simulate, I guess, putting it on the back of a tow vehicle. There we go. Now it did jack it up. That did lift it up fairly high. Way higher than you'd ever need to put on the car anyway. And that's it. So yeah, once again, lift your foot up there to the highest point. You know, I've even gone to the extent of putting a little drain hole there to keep water from pooling up, so yeah, little work light there so you can see what you're doing. I do have a feeling this is supposed to face the front, but I just could not get, maybe this whole bracket is designed to sit in here, but oh well, it works. And remove your little foot, and that's it. So yeah, some basic wiring. Probably the biggest thing that I had trouble with would be cutting this off, because yeah, Snowy did a bloody cracking job at welding this on. So oh, at least we know it's strong. But I'm going to leave the video there. We do have some things coming up. So we're going to Tiwa on the Sunshine Coast with some mates just after Christmas. So we're going up the day after Boxing Day. So we'll obviously take you guys along for the trip. And then what else do we have? I've got about 4 weeks work with a mate of mine he's actually on both of our next trips with us, Dylan. So yeah, I'm working with him just to keep a bit of money coming in and keep me from going stir crazy at home. So yeah, we do have a couple of things coming up, trips with mates. Before we head off on our lap, we decided, well, you know, we'll try and have as much time with them as we can, because we're definitely going to miss all of our friends and family here. So yeah, we got a week away with my mates Dylan, Greg and their families, and that's up at Tiwa. So we're just on the Noosa North Shore, Sunshine Coast. And then we do have a trip booked for mid-February, and we're going to Cairns. It's going to be a 4-week trip with the same group, because yeah, we're going to bloody miss everyone when we go, so why not spend the time with them while we can. So yeah, Cairns trip for mid-Feb. We're going to come back mid-March. We'll probably spend another 2 to 3 weeks at home just tidying up and getting this place ready to rent. This is our beautiful house that we're leaving. Put a lot of time and effort into this place since we've lived here. We've been here for about 7 years, maybe 8 years now. So we're moving from, it's funny because it's got a similar colour scheme too. Moving from our house into this thing, which we will be living in and travelling full time for at least the next year. And it's a big step, but one that's much needed. And yeah, alright guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you liked it, hit the like button, and if you enjoy watching this sort of stuff, hit the subscribe button. It will help us out when we start traveling, because hopefully we're going to get this YouTube kicked off, and it might be a way for us to keep a little bit of money trickling in. From what I've heard, it's not a huge amount of money, but hey, even if it pays for cats' coffees or something, that's all good. Alright guys, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.